What's up, guys? This is the Rifleman, and I am back to bring you to the next episode of my Empire Total War Let's Play as Great Britain. To pick up where we left off, we have annihilated the Marathas. So right now we have no enemies in the Indian Theatre to the northwest because the Safavid Empire is currently neutral. Our main enemy is south at their capital of Mysore, and they have plenty of troops around, so a number of armies are moving down to intercept. But it's likely going to take a couple of engagements to wipe them out completely. Let's make sure that Sterling Linley... Well, no, we have no money. Yeah, no money to do anything. Let's nick an infantry unit from Nagpur. We can probably stand to band a few of these. Okay, there we go. Saved a few units there. Bit of sustainment cost saved there. A couple of armies here. Aaron Shays. I mean, I might just move you up to Naroon. Cover that front. Carry Hope. I mean, your entire army can just be disbanded, really. But you could move back to Calcutta and just maintain a permanent garrison here to the east of the country. Probably do without the demi-cannons, though. Yes, a number of armies moving south. I don't think... this army won't be able to leave Satara anytime soon. Will you be able to leave Goa? You can leave Goa. Anybody we can reinforce? Reinforce their Mercenary Great Plains Lancers, at least, so we can move them south. Can't repair the trade port, but this army is a bit of a hedge against this force trying to move north. Got a few armies in the field, though, so we should be okay. Meanwhile... in Europe, rather... you've got to move west and deal with Nuruddin al-Maghribi. Let me move east again and attack Tunis. Let's hit end turn first. I think the French are finally starting to hit their upper limit. They've still not really been doing any operations on the Spanish coast. Mainly Sweden that we need to try and bump up, because right now they're not spending money on reinforce. Interesting. Because if I don't, so it's tempting to not engage because of the force on the flank. Yeah, I need to have a look at what Sweden's finances are doing, because they are, as we've established before, they don't actually... their port isn't currently being blockaded. They are just choosing not to fix it. Well, but I'm going to need to find out if they are choosing not to fix it. Rebellion in Satara. Okay, well then this force can op them up. Yeah. Excellent. Because Sweden is still not trading, and Sweden's trade route is worth a huge amount to us. The port isn't blockaded, it's just broken. Oh damn, they're bankrupt. Right. Diplomacy. We're at war with Prussia and Denmark. They'll probably eventually be at war with Russia again, or the remnants of Russia, so it's in my interests for... Okay, let's try and tie up an alliance. I'm going to offer 3,000 turns. And I'll trade you defensive doctrine firepower for seed planting drill as a... Thinking about it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I don't think they won't resolve their bankruptcy problems immediately, but it might slow them down somewhat. Ultimately, I suppose... am I better off saying... not necessarily better off, but if I just say, I'm going to offer you one-time payment of 8,000 for selective. They won't even give me one technology for it. If I try is 10 grand magic number. No, it's done the smart thing because now I'm just going to give them 9,000 for nothing. They can repair their port. We'll get that 9 grand back very quickly. And we need to end the turn once to make sure that they get that done. First of all, India. Position you at tea plantation. I mean, ideally, I want to fight one decisive battle to capture the city itself. So if I try and move a few armies around like this, we can afford to not fight minor engagements and converge on the city itself. Can't really do much in the way of economic upgrades because we've spent most of our money on rebuilding Sweden's economy. Repair. Malachi trade fleet. Probably stand to nick one of these brigs, move them to Bombay. We can start taxing Satara. Let's it in turn. Oh damn! I forgot the army in North Africa. Well, right now we haven't got the money to do everything we want. I suppose consolidating our strength in India is still the priority. So do I want to... They're all coming from one direction, but I want to say no. Because I want to see if these guys don't fall back. No, just stay far. They've got into a fort. That's not bad, actually. We can lay siege to the fort, and then we've got them pinned. Unless they wish to sally. Systema Naturae. Swedish Doctor of Medicine and botanist Carl Lin has published his Systema Naturae. Work that outlines a system of hierarchical classification of animals, plants, and minerals. Nicely done. My spies are still doing good work. With good constructions, but we'll probably want to spend a chunk of change on rebuilding capability. The port at Bombay. Got another tea plantation built. Because, yes, I mean, I don't think it matters now because we've got two... One army's at full strength, one's nearly at full strength. We can now move on Mysore itself. And if I attack Patna, I was hoping I would get to the city. So we are going to have this reinforcing army on our flank coming in, which isn't a huge problem. We just, well, especially because they're mostly, more than roughly half their force is cavalry. So, I mean, we'll still be fine. We've got another force, but the plan was to get into the university, then attack the city. Just to try and get that reinforcing army on a slightly better bearing from our attacking force. So that hasn't happened, but at least we're going to defeat the garrison. It's going to be forced back, and then the other army to the west will be able to sweep in and take the city if they are able to generate a strong garrison. If they are not, then we should be fine just to be able to take the city. And the continent is ours. We will be able to exploit it to our hearts. We should be fine. Once we've got India secured, we will position a fleet here to try and defend from any naval invasions. So, I mean, they're coming in from the left. But I still want this high ground. So let's assume... Right, well, first of all, two cavalry and two infantry units. They're going to position behind our force, just in case we do get bushwhacked from the rear. Form a regular battle line with our other infantry unit. We will position this. Well, this battery might actually stay behind as a bit of a reserve. Cavalry out on the extreme edge of the flank. Great Plains horses. No, Great Plains warriors plus pikemen. Get ready to defend the artillery. Although, actually, I've the wrong artillery piece. Here. Here. This battery back here. Just to see if we get any intel on where they come in from. Otherwise, we will... This is probably the best defensive ground. Alright, just had to cough there for a second. Probably want to be actually forward a bit. In which case then, probably going to happen if we are moving over to the right slightly. I mean, I'm anticipating... I might actually curve around. Battery reserve. Let's place them on this high ground behind our formation. General's going to keep them company. Because I might. You guys back here somewhat, just in case we do get screwed over. Body advanced. They do have artillery, but we have an artillery advantage. Yeah, they have 5 cannons. We have 18 fine artillery pieces. We deploy even more aggressively against them, knowing they've got reinforcements. Just to provide a bit more firepower against their main force. I think the answer is yes. Have to be more prepared to deal with any surprises. Maybe let's not place my general directly between the enemy artillery and our artillery. Maybe not deploy my pikemen quite so close to the guns themselves. My artillery, just focus on their cavalry. You are ready, you're ready. Limber. You can do counter battery work. Probably better off trying to go after the tribesmen. Does look like we... Yeah, I need to bring my cavalry back, get my pikes out on the flank. Oh no, actually you're okay. Couple of good hits. Yes, 40 odd cavalry kills, not bad at all. Actually, let's ignore counter battery fire for now. Just because we can do so much good work killing their cavalry. You chaps reload. These are my veteran gun teams. You're reloading. The guns are ready. Pivoting. Still got good angles of fire. Ooh, one good shot bounced right through their formation, but now you're probably going to redirect your fire. Guns are nearly up. After our cavalry. Spread out. Pikemen have to commit. Otherwise we're just going to get shot to ribbons. Advance. Shots. Go on, pikemen, cut them down. Pivot into that unit. Gunners unlimber, straight into canister shot. Canister shot. Mysore musketeers heading right for you. Maybe you want to go for the tribesmen that are right there. No, probably want to go for the dervishes that are right there. Ready, Great Plains warriors, to start hucking your axes. Guns have pivoted. Killed 20 with one shot. Excellent hit there. We've got a whole bunch of them. Fall back. On the right flank, we were moving. And those musketeer units were moving forward. That's more cavalry. Okay, I'm going to have to add more cavalry onto the right flank. Grenadiers, hit the levy. Gunners, retreat. Any enemy infantry coming in to screw us over, but then I don't think there's any... Oh no, they must be there to... They're on the route to routing. And reinforcements must be coming in imminently. Enemy general has routed on the right flank. Bring over the yeomanry. Pull back the infantry. I need to firm up my right flank with more troops. Yeomanry out of the way. General, get over here. Cavalry come across. Well, don't come across. Hit the levy. New men push up and get involved there. There's no infantry coming in behind us, which is good. Oh no, my general staff! I was going to say, you ought to make for the safety of the grenadiers, but it appears there is no safety. You need to hit them. Cavalry unit needs to work its way around. There is a pike unit. Oh no, these are enemy reinforcements coming in, aren't they? That's what this is. Those are enemy reinforcements. Cavalry there. You men go after that unit. Oh, the line is falling. Okay, you men, fall back. Form square. There is enemy generals right there, but I can't really do much about it. Is those damned reinforcements coming in to our rear? Okay. They're still coming in. Okay. It's time for this army to withdraw. Some of our men must gallantly hold out, try and provide cover, the remainder to escape. Ah, damned blast. Yeah, this really doesn't help. Oh, that's why I was concerned about the people on the flank. Where are the gunners? The gunners just have to run. They have no choice. Basically, I like giving people orders to run roughly the right way, then make them withdraw, because otherwise they can choose really weird directions to run. Like, you guys, run! Run! Lord Admiral's Maritime Regiment. Oh, they've fallen. Oh no, you're close to the line, but no, you're not going to do it. The gunners are running for it. Everyone's running. Get out of here! Yes, always beware the flank. Or you might catch us. Not quite. Not as much as damage as you wanted to do. Ah, damned blast. Yeah, always be wary of troops on the flank. But that's kind of why I've stacked the deck somewhat and introduced lots and lots of troops here. Now, an important lesson for us all. Even a small army on the flank can cause lots of problems. And to be fair, even if I stayed highly defensive, the direction they were coming in were just so... It was literally perfect just to screw us over, because it's right in that particular angle. Oh well, these things happen. Okay, but we got one more army that's able to move in, but they will just move in and attack the garrison. So we've retained a good chunk of our units, not all of them, but the armies are still relatively intact. This force has now been damaged. We can come in here, then move in. There we go. We've completely avoided this reinforcing army coming in and spoiling our day. They've got a series of mortars, 5 mortars, plus a bunch of cavalry. We should be good. Let's move in and take the city. Let's make them pay for what they've just done to us. But then, once the continent's secure, we can take stock of what troops we've got, what armies we need, what defences we want around the continent. So things like having a garrison in Karnataka, a garrison in Mysore. There's a couple of areas where it makes sense to have troops based. But there are others, some of the smaller cities, it doesn't make as much sense. So we can afford to leave them with somewhat less protection. So, let's see what the ground looks like. Ultimately, because they've got mortars, they are kind of screwed in that mortars do have a min range. We push in hard enough, get within that min range. suppose really I want to be up here. If I can get up onto this high ground and get my guns pointing down into the city, that'd be pretty awesome. Only we had an enormous cavalry wing to secure the ground. Infantry can follow up behind. To be honest, probably not going to. Especially as I didn't actually look at what their. I had a brief look at what their deployment was going to look like. And the answer is, they actually deployed a few of their mortars a little bit exposed out on the front. So everyone's moving for the most part. Great Plains Lancers, get up here. Attack some of these mortars. The other enemy mortars are... Some of them are here. Some of them are up on the far flank. Will be good. And speed up time for the moment. You men just mop up these mortars. Deal with the other mortars. Portion of my cavalry wing out wide. Re-attack those cannons because it looks like they wanted to crew their guns again. All my guns and infantry are going to take a hot minute to get up here. Huge artillery. Fan around. Ultimately, what's our range like? Pretty darn good. Engage some of the enemy cavalry. Exceptional shot. 12s will take a little longer to bring up into position. A good chunk of this early battle is probably going to be uncompressed. One unit left behind. This is where they need to get up. This is what you guys can't help a huge amount. Increase time compression. None of this artillery. Run. We've made a cavalry unit. Oh no, it's just a mortar unit running still. Once our infantry's in place, I'm less bothered about getting my 12s in position because we've just got so much infantry and cavalry. Especially with the siege artillery in position, we probably don't need to worry about too mad getting our artillery. $25, 32. Okay, infantry, how are you doing? Getting there. Even the unit that's at the back, the foot guards. Actually, have we had a good look at the foot guards? I've had a look. Actually, no, I don't think we have. Looking pretty dapper, although understandably their cohesion's pretty bad. They are just running from me. The general's been killed, struck by an errant 24-pounder. Poor soul. 2 elephants down. Okay, they're getting there. They're getting there. The foot guards getting surprisingly close to the mortars, although now they can all probably afford to have an order to advance while walking. Big wing of cavalry. They spread out behind the line. Left wing of cavalry. Advance towards these artillery positions on the left. Cohesion's bad, but it will pick up, although at a reasonable speed, otherwise those mortars are going to get them. The regiment of the guards to engage mortar position with bayonet action. Everybody else continue to advance. £24 just pick a infantry. Suppose. General, stay near the trees. You going, foot guardsmen? The enemy are here. Actually, tribesmen are coming to meet us. My lancers in, get my yeomanry in, get my pistoliers to hold. Lancers be light cavalry. Yeomanry come up the lad, their sabres to the mix. Oh, there's another cavalry. Carabiner, advance, fire at will off. Excellent. The one cavalry unit push on to the next tribesman. Indians v natives. Americans. In come the yeomanry. Push forward, man. Collected there. Forward at speed. Yeomanry position, Lancers position. I do see the stakes. Pistoliers are going to run the gauntlet. th Light, charge the Mysore Musketeers. Reformed Harquebusier, advance. Carabiner, get in behind the line. Firing at will off. Wheel into the Mysorean Musketeers. Infantry spin the flank around. Pistoliers get in and attack the mortars. No, there's pikemen in here, but the are going to get shattered. £24 ceasefire. Center of gravity is being hit from all directions. The levy are charging in. Surrounded. There goes one. On their way. In comes the British infantry to help. All down to the foreign fighters. There we go. Swift, decisive action. The cavalrymen attack the last crew, not mortar queue. Excellent. There we go. One nice, short, sharp, decisive action in the centre. Destroyed Mysore. Now India is ours. Now we can start investing. And investing turn India into a capital machine. Although, to be fair, we've got most of the world already under blockade as it is anyway. The more money we have, well, we need to advance up through the Middle East. Well, once we get our stuff together in India, we can make sure our North African push is going well. Start building up more naval forces. Then we can get ready for our link up in the Middle East. Doesn't work. Get the buildings repaired. Let's get the university destroyed. Port's in good shape. So we will dispatch a brig to keep it under secure control. Let's bring our actual naval forces up towards Porbandar. Human, reinforce, and let's use this relatively cheap foot unit. Only 43 gold. They can garrison Porbandar to make it easier for naval troops to get in and reinforce. Yeah, excellent. We can repair the port here.
Your Majesty.
Bring 38 gun frigate around to Calicut. Excellent. That's good. This is all good, I think. So, they're going to be pretty grumpy. The clamour for reform is going to go down once we get rid of the university. A bit of cultural unrest. Ultimately, there is likely to be a rebellion here. But we've got plenty of troops nearby to deal with it. But 1,300, that's enough for us to place our general that was lost here. And then position ready for a subsequent attack against the Imrati forces here. Get some reinforcements. Naval forces. Algiers is garrisoned well enough. Yes, you can move along, capture these territories, probably once and for all, capture Naples and take it away from Spain just to prevent that constant pressure. Along for 18,000 next turn because Spain, Sweden, as far as we can see, isn't reinforcing its trade port.
Setting up camp.
Ooh. We're actually moving troops south. Question is, they need a pretty solid cash injection just to try and overcome their bankruptcy issues. Otherwise, we may end up just slowing their decline rather than preventing it. Letter of demands from Mysore, Seringa. Let's put a religious school. We'll upgrade the governor's apartments, but that's probably not going to do it. Just keep the armies nearby. Gerber's got a new government building. We want to make sure these government buildings are being upgraded, because we don't need military buildings here. Especially not on the likes of a Madnagar, where they're actually... You, good sir. Wasn't enough. We'll exempt you from tax. How's that? Certainly helped. Rice paddies repaired. Public servant dies. William Cowper. One of our ministers, I'd... But everybody's still 4 stars or better, so... Do much tinkering there. Melvin Walton. One of our commanders that's been on the front for a long time now, guarding against a French menace that hasn't yet arrived. Maybe it will. Okay, workers on strike and thought to be expected. The upper classes are going to be okay with it, more so than the lower classes. Sure. Oh, small religious school. Get rid of that, because that's going to be slowing our conversion rate. More missions from all of our agents. Agent detected. Ah, they finally found my guy.
Investigating target.
I mean, they're still efficient. Repairing. They're not on the verge of fixing. Bankruptcy is less of an issue than it was. At least. Resistance to foreign occupation, so they're being invaded right now. Maybe there's troops around here. Either way. Jeremy Butterworth, let's go and attack this force here. Even though we have no money, we've got to deal with them sooner rather than later. Nuruddin al-Maghribi. Let's take them to task. And they are building another force, probably for an amphibious invasion, around our flank, so that will need to be taken out. Once we take Tunis, that'll certainly help, because that is the strength of their... well, the centre of their strength. They'll only be 1 territory away from complete defeat. And then the capture of Tunis and her port will be quite a useful forward base for naval operations against the Ottoman Empire. To be honest, we can probably blockade the port of Baghdad now. That would be a useful inhibitor of trade for... No, I'm actually tempted a bit defensively, because we've got the artillery. Granted, we don't really have the ground. Let's try it anyway. Worst comes to the worst, we'll just move forward. Infantry. The right flank. Colonial infantry. Hold the... Really a good spot to position my siege artillery. Killing everybody. I mean, this would do actually, because the infantry are in defilade. Might kill some of my gunners, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. You men here. Reasonable coverage of this section of ground here. I've got my 4 infantry. Hold the left. Skirmishers. My Queen's York Rangers and my Queen's Rangers. Hold the left. Native troops in support, plus a couple of good cavalry units. Colonial Dragoons hold the right. General in the centre. I don't think we're going to force them to. We will. I mean, I suppose in one hand we didn't necessarily want to, because they were all so clustered up in the back. Oh, it looks like they are coming. Or at least a portion of them. A couple of units here that aren't going to be moved. They'll have to get mopped up. 24 pounders have opened up. So, 16 kills, not terrible. 12 pounders opening up, but they're not going to hit anything. It looks like the general is really not going to move out of this position to the rear, in which case we may end up going for a meeting engagement. Or will we? Block of troops on the left. I mean, they're going to be quite conclusively dealt with by already have in position. Let's bring my native auxiliary over. Queen's Rangers do look fantastic. Queen's York Rangers also look good, but they're a bit more militia-like in their stance. Whereas my Queen's York Rangers, they are nicely drilled in order. They are forming up lines. Well, everybody except the general is. Yes, if we don't do anything, take. Reporting. They are adjusting. Yeah, we got to move forward. If we don't move forward, this will take forever. Hey, actually, I might get my main line to start running so they can secure the high ground. Or the good ground, at least. Back to these alternative lines. Aren't wholly dissimilar from where you already were. Or you still might be. No, I don't think they... Get the guns limbered up and get them moved up. Going to be a bit of a traditional engagement. Let's get on the high ground. Some of the cavalry's on the move. General's in here too. And falling back, eh? Would have been a big whiff. Go on, Jamestown settlers. Help them out. Bodyguard is in range. Fancy a shot, Queen's York Rangers? Go on, Jamestown settlers. Help out the Colonial Dragoons. And shot. Got Queen's York Rangers? No, you do not. Now they are withdrawing because they realised I am attacking. Did see some stakes go down. The end there, so if we stick over here, we should be good. Okay, then we do... Getting lured into doing exactly what I didn't want to do in the first place. Just get all my guns to move up in one block. They want me to pen them in? I will. Interesting though. Don't normally see the enemy AI react in that manner. Where's my general? Make sure he doesn't walk into the stakes. Nope, they are hightailing it back to their original location. Here comes my 24s. I see your stakes, but they're not going to help you. Okay, let's... Run my guns up, run my infantry up to help. Light infantry, so good. I them as infantry, as line infantry. You're not going to like this when I get into position, matey boys. 12-pounders, nice and slow. They're not going to make it up to this. Sure. I mean, you can redeploy as much as you like, but kind of like what's going to happen. Batch the cavalry to go deal with some reinforcements. Light troops are engaging. The line infantry aren't in range yet. Great Plains Lancers hit the far unit. Colonial Horse hit the near unit. Mounted Tribal Auxiliary hit the near unit. Our archers are up and ready. And now we've got experienced gunners here. Barbary Corsairs, I mean, they're up and ready. Excellent. See one unit chasing some of these men down. Charging the block, but this is exactly what these chaps are about. Into the center. Bayonet charge. Dragoons hit the musketeers. Bayonet charge. Skirmishers cease fire. Infantry, just get up here. Left my native troops all the way at the back. Colonial Herbert Jeffrey's regiment, this is no time for grenades. Bayonet charge. The Bourbon Musketeers. They're winning against the Jamestown settlers, but they won't be for long. Excellent. Hack them down. The other Jamestown settlers charging in. For Virginia, lads! Virginia! Grenadiers from one end as well. Excellent. My general, you into the mix. Kill the last of these musketeers. They're dead. Go attack them. Jamestown settlers are mad. There we go, they're killed. Damn right we're continuing. We're getting some kills here. You're going after that singleton. You're going after that. Line of Dragoons. Infantry, just stay back out of the way. First of all, actually, we go over there. You better go over here. You chase down them. Find there are stakes around, so we need to be careful. You're just an infantry unit. You got absolutely mobbed, hit down by my own cavalry. My bad. But much must be risked in war. Afraid, good sir. Go hit these Berbers. Got him. General, facing down how many? 5, 3, 2, 1. Not going to escape. The general is going to get in, but I wonder if it's enough to get his last, or to get his first chevron rather. Bonk. He needs it. Kill him. Somebody get him. Oh, I don't know if it's enough. Still, good victory. Accidental death of a lot of my Jamestown settlers was suboptimal. But, well, these things happen. Not a lot we can do. Oh well, could be a lot worse. Okay, so let's see the damage. We're definitely not going to be able to reinforce with 560 odd gold. A couple of the cav units might get back up to full strength, but nothing major. Yeah, we lost the Jamestown settler unit. Understandable. Kill the remainder.
Anything more humble, sir.
You men can reinforce. It will take time, and then we will We will reinforce you probably with one of these infantry units from Algiers. Still not bad. 13 gold left. Tunis is still holding. Only one fire ship is holding these ships in port. So even though this fleet's damaged, no, not the garrison, not the port garrison unit. Just keep them bottled up. We'll move forward, take out Tunis, and advance on Tripoli, and then we've got our front line with the Ottomans. Although then we can start spending more attention on our naval blockade, because this is very inefficient. This enormous battle fleet. Granted, it's bottling up a large enemy fleet, but they're all fire ships and they're all quite weak. But looking at the timer, I believe it's time to end the episode. So, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed, and we'll see you next time for more great British fighting. Cheers, everyone.